Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk with Ava. It's your girl Oluwatomi singing, and if you're new here, this is Let's Talk with Ava. Thanks for listening. This podcast revolves around things that come with adulthood, navigating adulthood, um, some lessons, some experiences that you don't immediately notice, but kind of slowly shape how you see yourself and the world around you. So this evening, I was thinking about something, and I was thinking about how creative ideas used to flow in my head, but how now I am kind of struggling to have these ideas. It also stems from the experience of seeing people who once discouraged me from doing something suddenly doing the exact same thing themselves. And I know many of us have experienced this in different areas of our lives. Maybe you wanted to start something, maybe you wanted to try something new, or maybe you wanted to show up somewhere in a way that felt natural to you. And the people around you, sometimes your friends, sometimes acquaintances, and sometimes even people who mean well, responded in a way that made you question yourself. For me, one of those things was content creation. I've always been fascinated with the media space. I'm not a tech person, I'm not tech savvy, but I always loved, creating. And when I would want to start creating content, there was this particular person who shut it down immediately, saying I was too young and I was exposing myself to sexual advances, and people would see what I post as being seductive. Eventually, or see, I've forgotten the English. Sometime later, I've forgotten the exact word for that. Pardon me. Sometime later, I wanted to go into podcasting, and I shared the idea with a few people. Some people encouraged me, but most people discouraged me. Turned out that the time I started mine, one of the people who discouraged me started as. Now, she didn't do a lot of it. She has stopped, but eventually she moved into other areas of content creation that she also shut down when I talked about it. So, the whole thing about content creation was me just liking to share my thoughts, my conversations, my observation about life. It felt like a natural extension of my personality, but the responses were not encouraging. Some people made jokes about it. Some people asked questions that were not really questions, but subtle ways of saying, "How would you do that?" Some people made it sound unserious. Some people made it sound embarrassing, like, you're just going to be disgracing your family online. And if you're being honest, it doesn't always take aggressive criticism to shake your confidence. Sometimes a few careless comments are enough. And the tricky part is not even the moment when people say these things, but the moment or what happens after. Because the commentators would leave, but their voices would stay. And that is what happened to me. I start hearing them when I want to record. I start hearing them when I think about posting something. I start questioning how I'll be perceived, how people will interpret it, whether someone somewhere is rolling their eyes, or whether what I want to say is even good enough, whether somebody wants to hear me. And I still struggle with it till now. So I slow down, I hesitate, I become inconsistent. And I want to be honest, because I don't want to sound like I'm blaming anyone for my inconsistencies. Nobody held my phone and stopped me from posting. Nobody physically prevented me from creating anything. What happened was simpler and more uncomfortable. I allowed those voices to get comfortable in my head. And once they sit there long enough, they begin to sound like your own thoughts. And that is where life starts doing something interesting. Time passes. I recall I recall a conversation with a friend where I was telling him that I wanted to start writing. I enjoyed writing, so I told him I wanted to start writing. And he said something that stuck with me even, and it still pinches me once in a while when I remember. He said to me, "You are always talking about starting, but you never start." It's not like, so that day when he said it, I was pretty mad. I was like, you don't understand me, yada yada yada. But really, what was stopping me was the voices in my head, what people had said in the past, how people had downplayed my work in the past. I recall writing a poem when I was in, I think, 100 level, and someone called it trash. Said it wasn't good enough. It wasn't this and that. So she basically just rubbished what I wrote. Some other people saw that same poem and said, "Oh, told me it was good." But the comments of that one person who trashed my work overwhelmed the other people. And time passes you by. You just continue navigating your life, continue thinking about the things you want to do, continue trying to gather the courage to show up in spaces that once made you hesitant. And then one random day, you just open social media and you see the people who once discouraged you doing the same thing. They are posting content, they are showing up online, they are sharing videos, they are building a platform. And you sit there staring at your phone thinking, wait, was this not the same thing you said was unnecessary? Was this not the same thing you said sounded embarrassing? The same thing you said would portray your family in a bad light. Life has a funny sense of humor. At first, it can feel confusing. It can even feel slightly annoying. No, not even slightly. It feels very annoying because I feel hurt, or I used to feel hurt when I see things like that. Because you remember the words these people said when you first considered doing that same thing. But over time, I started to realize something important. People will be people. People criticize things they do not understand. People discourage things they have not tried. People change their minds. People follow trends. People eventually join the same spaces they dismissed. Sometimes people even discourage others because they feel uncertain about themselves. Human behavior is inconsistent. That is one of the most predictable things about it. And the older I get, the more I realize that the real lesson here is not even about them. The lesson is about what we allow their voices to do to us. Because if you keep replaying other people's opinion in your head long after they have even forgotten they even said them, you will find yourself stuck in hesitation while life continues moving around you. Some might say something once, but if you repeat it to yourself 100 times, it begins to shape your decisions. And that is the part I have to take responsibility for. Yes, people spoke, but I allowed the echo to stay longer than it needed to. So now, when I see situations like this, when I see people doing the same things they once discouraged, I don't feel as bothered as I might have felt before. Instead, it reminds me of something, which is that opinions are temporary. Trends change, people evolve. But if you allow every external voice to control your actions, you will keep pursuing your own life while waiting for approval that may never come. And that waiting can stretch for years without you realizing it. So sometimes the real work is learning how to gently evict those voices from your mind, not with anger, not with resentment, but with the quiet understanding that not every opinion deserves permanent space in your head. Because If you keep waiting for everyone to agree with your ideas before you begin, you might find yourself watching other people build the things you once wanted to start. And that's a difficult place to sit. So, if there is something you've been thinking about doing, something you once stepped away from because of other people's reactions, maybe this is a small reminder to revisit it. Not because the world suddenly became supportive, but because your own voice deserves a chance to exist without constant interruptions from people who may not even remember what they said. And that's something I'm still learning. I'm learning to I'm learning to put myself out there. I'm learning to create. Whether I want to write, whether I want to whether I want to talk, whether I want to do whatever it is, I'm learning to create. I'm learning to allow the spirit of creativity that the Lord has given me to flow, to move. I'm learning not to restrict myself because of what people would say. Is it hard? Yes, it is. Is it tough? Very. Am I struggling? Like mad. But each time I remember that I am choosing to create, I am choosing not to let their voices dominate my thoughts, then I try. Might not be perfect, but I try. And the more I try, the more I get better at it. So the plan for this year is to silence the voices. Anyways, that is all on today's conversation with Let's Talk with Avah. I'll see you in the next episode.